Next up is Nate McCoy. It's hard to put into words exactly what makes Nate so great. It could be his uncanny ability to simply will his way to victory. It could be that no other golfer in the state, and most might argue the country, is able to do more with less. He gets more out of a 45-minute practice session than most golfers get out of a 3-hour session. He's a busy husband and father of 2, working full-time in a field that sees many of its employees playing less golf than the average Joe. He becomes friends with everyone he meets, including many of you in this room tonight. He's the first person to congratulate you on a great round of golf and truly mean it, even if he walked away holding the trophy. It's a great balancing act, yet he seemed to have perfected it. After going winless in 2023, Nate more than made up for it this year. His season included runner-up at the Iowa Mid-Amateur, runner-up finish at the Lake Creek Amateur, first place at the Fort Dodge Amateur, 7th place at the Iowa Masters, first place at the Iowa Amateur, highlighted by a final round 66, which included 4 birdies and 2 back 9 eagles, advanced to the match play portion of the U.S. Amateur, finished in a tie for 3rd at the Classic, and finished first place at the Briarwood Amateur. Let's hear what Nate's friends and family have to say about his 2024 season.
You know, from the time he put a club in his hand, he was destined to do some great things. He just sort of naturally had a golf swing that worked.
He's just so good at so many things. He's got incredible fundamentals, right? He's not going to be too far off no matter what.
I think Nate is the only person I've ever met who can just decide when he wants to win or when he wants to turn it on more than anyone.
He's the nicest person in the world, but he's a competitor when he gets out there on the course. So you need to bring your A game to beat Nate.
He's a competitor and a great chipper and putter and drives the ball very straight. He has a desire to win.
He's pretty hard to beat, right? He's incredibly resilient. He doesn't care what it looks like. He just gets it in the hole.
I think just experience and self-confidence are the keys. He doesn't practice quite as much as he used to, but he seems to play just as well.
His mental toughness is unmatched.
He's got that edge to him, you know, deep down.
You know, just his attention to detail on basic things. You know, he doesn't make it overly complicated. He keeps it simple.
He's had the right temperament to really become a great competitor.
You know, he'll never tell you how good he is.
I think his humble perspective on the game helps with that. He knows that golf doesn't define him, but yet he wants to go out and compete.
It was last year later in the season. He hadn't been playing much, hadn't been able to practice much. He was about ready to not, you know, he was just like, I just don't have it. We got together and, you know, after that lesson, I was like, Nate, you're fine. Like, what are you talking about? And then he ended up going and winning an IGA Major, 3 days later.
A couple years ago at the Mid-Am, we got done playing. We played in the morning, so it was in the afternoon. Went into the clubhouse. It was Nate, Ethan Meckling, and I. We were going up there after the round, getting an adult beverage, and so we're standing there, and Nate goes, Ethan, you're a little bit more experienced than I am in this. Any suggestions? And you know, Nate obviously meant nothing by that. And Ethan looks at Nate. He's like, "Well, Nate, that's the most polite way of calling me an alcoholic I could think of."
This summer, we had the pleasure to go watch Nate play in the round of 64 at the US Am, and we were all really excited. We're like, "This is such a big deal! Like, Nate made the round of 64," and I'm sure he was thinking those things too. But you wouldn't be able to tell because as soon as he saw us on the 7th hole, he just did that same Nate soft smile and wave like he does every time we see him competing around Iowa.
You know, he caddied for me in the Masters, and that was a really special week for me. You know, it was just as special for me to caddy for him at the State Am and the US Am this year.
Congratulations, Nate, on winning Player of the Year again. I can't wait to see you come back even better next year.
Congrats, Nate, on another great year. Thanks for kicking all of our butts again this year. Looking forward to 2025 and have another good year out there.
Congrats, Nate, on another Player of the Year run. It was so fun to get to watch this summer, and I can't wait to watch it again in 2025.
Congratulations, Nate, on being the Player of the Year and doing it for the 4th straight time. It was fun to watch you play. You played great all season long, and I was thrilled to be on the bag in the State Am and the US Am. It was a lot of fun. and I hope you go out next year and win it again. You're a great player and a better person.
Year, I'm excited to announce Nate McCoy as our IGA Player of the Year.
Thank you. Yeah, that's you know, when you're in the office and you know, actually I want to give props to Charlie Garrett. He actually made all these videos, and he did a pretty good job of keeping that one for me. Except for one day, I did walk by and I saw some pictures of me from high school and college. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I knew that they were doing some videos, and I'm like, you know, I think we got some better pictures than when I was 15, but that was really cool. And it was you know, it was nice to hear those words. And I have to use a lot of self-deprecating humor sometimes to keep from getting choked up, and obviously seeing my dad. Usually when we talk, you know, I talk about golf and bring my dad into it, I usually get a little emotional, but you know, I do first want to thank Chelsea Soda, who was on that video. She's not here tonight, but she did recently get named Golf Digest's Best Young Teacher in America, or one of them, and so I know if she was here, I'd have you guys clap for her, but I was really happy for her, and obviously she sees me at a lot of my my downtime, you know, when I'm not playing my best, and she, you know, she's always been there to help me out. So I want to thank her, but I also do want to thank, you know, when Mace had all the golf professionals stand up here in the room, I was looking around, and I can say that almost all of them had some impact on me in my life, growing up or even in this job, and so we're pretty lucky to have the golf professionals we do here in the state. And I can tell you, I wouldn't be here without many of them, and I, you know, can say a lot of them are here in this room, and they know who they are. So yeah, actually, give them another round of applause. Those guys, you know, they give a lot of themselves, you know, really to allow us amateurs to be able to have as much fun as we do with the game, and so I do want to thank them. I do want to thank my family who's here. My son Maverick's at home. Last year, Harper, so my wife Ashley's here, and my daughter Harper. Last year, Harper got sick and had to go home before I had to go up here. So this year she was able to make it. And the funny thing was, you know, I was trying to get her to come here, and I told her, you know, hey, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great party, a lot of people, good food, and then she gets here and she looks around, and I think, you know, as a 7-year-old, she was probably thinking, geez, like, you know, what'd he get me into? And then, you know, they left, and I'm thinking, oh boy, you know, she probably just learned how to play hooky. But no, it's pretty cool to have her here. I have been to many of these with, you know, for my dad, so to have her here is pretty cool. My wife, obviously, is my biggest supporter. She, you know, I'll be asking her in the summer. You know, I'll have an event coming up, you know, on the weekend, and obviously I want to spend as much time with my family as possible, but she's always the first one to say, you know, go do it, go play, and I'm like, I don't know, you know, it'd be nice to stay home this weekend. And she's like, yeah, but when winter comes around, you're gonna regret it, and you're gonna wish you would have played. So, you know, that's pretty cool to have a wife that does get it and is supportive, and makes me want to do as much as I can, you know, when I'm not playing golf, to make up for it. So thank you, Ash, for letting me play. You know, I was looking back at the year, and you know, obviously it wasn't necessarily a goal of mine to win this a 4th time, but there was a lot of people that did remind me of that, you know, what would happen if I did, and how it would kind of be a record, and you know, obviously when I was not really wanting to play, that kind of, you know, that pressure of having other people kind of telling me, hey, you know, you need, you know, go out there and do it. It kind of kept me practicing, kept me working at it. So I do appreciate those guys that kind of reminded me of that, even though it did add a little pressure. You know, it was real special this year having my dad with me. I'm at the state amateur, and if you guys know my dad, you know me. We're a little different in a lot of ways and similar in others. But first round, it was kind of funny. You know, I'm on the 9th green, and actually it was the 18th hole at Finkbine, and I'm looking up, and my dad's walking down. He played earlier that day, and you know, he was talking to Carly in the cart, and I'm sitting there. I might have even talked to John Olson, and I was like, you know, I guarantee he's gonna want a caddy. Like he's gonna, you know, as soon as I get off the green, he's gonna ask me if he wants me to caddy, and of course I'm gonna have to say yes. And you know, and he did. He wanted to caddy, and he put the bib on. And we're walking down the fairway, and you know, the first things that he starts saying are you know, hey, you know, how's your range? You got your rangefinder? You got your yardage book? You know, you got a pencil? You got any tees? You know, give me some tees. And you know, he's like, loosen these straps. You know, and I'm just like getting flustered, and you know, but looking back, I don't know if I could have played as well as I did without having him on the bag that final round, and knowing that he was there to kind of get me over that hump that I needed to get to. So that was really cool. And then obviously going to the U.S. Amateur after that was very special to have him on the bag. I caddied my first U.S. Amateur for him in 2002 when I was just turned 12 as a backup. Obviously he wasn't going to take me at 12, but so being able to do that with him was really cool. But really what made that event special wasn't necessarily making match play or doing any of that stuff. It was really, as Paige mentioned on the video, the thing that I'm going to remember most is that moment on that 7th hole when the IGA staff, you know, some of the interns that I worked with showed up. You know, I was on the green, I looked over and I saw those guys, and it really meant a lot to me, just because we are so close, and for them to come up and support me like that really was pretty special. The funny thing is, right after that, I get put on the clock on the 8th hole, and so I'm running, and then I get to the 9th tee, and I hook one in the left fescue, and then then I hit it further in the fescue, and I finally pitch it out, hit it on the green, and I just told the guy, like, just pick it up, let's go to the next hole. And so, you know, they didn't get to see me play very good golf, unfortunately, but really just that memory of them coming out and supporting me really meant a lot. And so I do want to thank all the staff that's here, not just for coming up and watching, but just for being great supporters of me throughout the season. It means a ton. You know, really, to tell you the truth, you know, it's easy for me to, you know, tell Carly told me what I shot that final round of the state amateur. I'd actually already forgotten what I even shot at that event. And I think that's, the older I get, the more I am realizing that, you know, those rounds of golf are I'm gonna forget them. I'm gonna forget the wins. I'm gonna forget, you know, the trophies are gonna get tarnished, and you know, things are gonna get thrown away, and I'm gonna forget about it. But the things I'm not gonna forget about are those constants in my life. You know, the family, the friends, and you know, my faith. The things that really mean the most to me, and looking back, I'm going to remember from this year, you know, that moment on the seventh green, or you know, my dad walking down the 18th fairway with me at Finkpine, or you know, having my kids with me at Briarwood this year when I won, and those are the things I'm going to remember, and the relationships that I've built, and you know, the people. We have just so many great people, so many great club professionals, superintendents, managers. That's what's going to stick with me. And so, but yeah, for everybody here, for all those that have supported me this year, and you know, it means the world to me, and I'm really looking forward to next year being able to support you guys the same way you guys did me. So I appreciate it. Thank you.